Hello, I'm Representative Barb Gleim from the 199th District, and I am here today to speak to you with Dr. Ski, the president of HAC. We have been doing some workforce development tours throughout the district, and we thought that today we'd like to have an interview with Dr. Ski. He's been very gracious to show up and speak to us today about what we've been hearing and seeing throughout the district with our workforce development. And this is going to tie into some of the videos that we have been doing and that you've been seeing on Facebook and other places. So getting right to it, Dr. Ski, thank you for being here today. And so one of the questions I had was, what kind of skills does a person from a CTC program need in order to get into HAC?
Well, you know, it really depends, because most are going to be able to get into HAC, no matter what their skill sets are. So if they were going into culinary, if they were going into nursing, it really is going to depend, but HAC has a place for everybody. So it really doesn't matter, you know, a specific skill, because we offer 100 programs of study, so you know, it's a lot to choose from.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what skill you have.
Correct.
That HAC provides anything that a student coming from a CTC
Yes.
program would need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how much does a 2-year education cost, roughly?
Well, a 2-year education costs with us about $6,000 to $8,000 a year. And then over the course of 2 years, again, depending on the program. Our nursing program may go 2.5 years, so it'll be a little bit more of an investment. But I think nationally, in the state and in our location, anywhere from, say, $16,000 to $20,000 for a 2-year associate degree.
Okay, and I'm assuming that there are some scholarship opportunities.
There are. We have
out there,
about
or
300
grants.
scholarships available, but with Pell, 51% of all our students receive Pell dollars or are Pell eligible. So it's very high, and so they do access Pell and our scholarships, so it can be helpful.
And just based on your knowledge of all of the students graduating, do you have an average threshold of their debt upon graduation?
We don't. You know, this has been very hard, Representative, for us to get a hold of. We are looking into that and making sure that we minimize it as much. So I can give you anecdotal information that for the vast majority of students that I have talked to, they have either no or very little small amounts of debt that they're carrying on to the 4-year school or into the workforce, depending on which way they go.
Okay, and I'm on the education committee, so you know that I'm engaged in
Yes.
this type of issue and problems that some of the students are having upon graduation. And
We do know, excuse me for a second, we do know that the 4-year schools, public 4-year schools, the average, and I read about this in the paper recently, $34,000 is the average debt that an average Pennsylvania public college student will leave with, 34.
Okay. Now, the next question is, and this is pretty broad, but if a person graduates from a 2-year program with a skill, do you have an idea of what kind of salary that they would be making?
We do. In many of our programs we do, and so we could go anywhere from our welding program to our nursing program to a variety of those programs. You know, our nurses can start at $50,000 a year. Our tool and die students as graduates, welders, can start at $40,000, $50,000 a year. So we have that broken down, so when a student comes to us, and remember, our average age is 27, so we're not talking about an 18-year-old, but when they come to a second career, third career, we're able to say, okay, you're interested in this, or you have a proclivity towards this. Here are the professions you can think about, here are the program of studies, and this would be the job market, how many jobs would be available, and what you could make, what you could earn on an annual basis. So we give them as much information as we can when they first come to us so they can make that decision.
Okay, and that's great. And I happen to know that you are communicating that information to the high schools,
Yes.
at least in our area. And I know that the workforce, one of the workforce bills was to have all of the community college communicate that to the high schools so that the kids, when they're going through their pathways, will know, you know, if I'm a welder, this is what I could potentially make.
Yes.
And they are, you know, sustainable jobs that can allow them to move out of the
Yes,
home
right.
and get their own apartments
Yes,
and things
and
like
that is the
that.
nice thing about the 14 community colleges in Pennsylvania. We already do that. We're involved in dual enrollment college in the high school. We're going to have some folks, we graduate next week. We're having folks from high school, seniors in high school, graduate next week from us before they graduate from high school, because they've been able to engage in dual enrollment. And most of the 14 community colleges, it happens there as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this story, but I went to a community college
not.
when I was a senior in high school, because this was a long time ago, but in order for my mom to keep her Social Security check, it was right around the Reaganomics,
Okay.
you know, they were stepping back Social Security. So the community college is actually offered a 12 credit program for the high school seniors to jump into, and then I was able to go on to University of Maryland.
Good for you.
In order, and all of those credits went from the community college to University of Maryland.
Good.
So there's so many options for students today, and that occurs today as well, obviously. How long on average does it take to get a job in a person's field after graduating from HAC?
You know, again, this varies, because if you're a welder, many of our welders already have been given a job offer before they finish. Our nursing students, last night we had nursing pinning on the Harrisburg campus, and many of them were already employed by a hospital. They had to pass their national license exam, but so many of them are. So in so many of the fields, especially the career technical fields, very, very high percentage, very. But remember, in our case, some are going right into the workforce and others are transferring to a 4-year institution. So depending on their needs, depending on why they came to us to begin with, that's what they're able to satisfy. So again, all or many in many of our programs are already employed, because our pass rates for the national licensure exam is very, very high. We have a 100% pass rate from our students in so many fields, especially in the healthcare fields.
Right.
So many. So. Really
I
works.
had HAC students in my office this past week, and one of them said that she actually was accepted into Johns Hopkins.
Yes, yes.
So you're...
She's from Gettysburg,
yes.
and we're celebrating her in a great way. Yes,
Yes.
she's going to be working there and getting her bachelor's of science in nursing.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Great news.
And she's not alone. There are so many more of our students who are going to Pennsylvania State Colleges, Penn State, as well as Cornell and Columbia and other places. We're just very proud of the students that we're able to engage with.
Right, and then I just have one last question for you. What type of flexibility do you offer to older students who have already gone into the workplace and need to further their education, that type of...
Well, I'm really pleased to see. You know, we are the communities college, so as I said earlier, our average age is 27. And so we have to be very accommodating. So we will offer traditional classes during the day and evening. We offer some weekend programs. Online is growing in a large way. We have 18 associate degrees that we offer online. The trend we're seeing at the college is that students will take one traditional class and one online class, and we're seeing that grow. So to be convenient to single mothers or to families, you know, a very busy time for many of our students is late at night.
Sure.
So once the children are put to bed and they've been able to kind of get themselves together, we see that online learning really works in many ways to be flexible, to be convenient. So we give credit for demonstrated competency. So if you come to us from the University of Maryland or Penn State with so many credits, you know, we'll work with you on that. And so we're very flexible because we really feel that access is important. And for those who want to get a certificate, a diploma, or a degree, because not everybody needs a 2-year, not everybody needs a 4-year degree, there are other opportunities, and we offer them. And that's what's so exciting about your favorite community college.
Yes. Now, I'm a businesswoman,
Yes.
and are you seeing a little uptick in the amount of businesses that are engaging with you and bringing students to you that have their tuition paid for?
Well, no, I can't address that. But what I do know is the businesses, the employers are engaging us to come into their work sites and provide leadership training, computer training, all types of manufacturing training. So we have a separate arm of the college that just deals with business and industry. And there we have seen a continual increase in the requests that are coming to that. And Barbara, I would say to you that workforce development is really an area where community colleges, I think, thrive.
Yes.
And I think think we've proved to the Commonwealth that we are really at the core of the economy, of changing the economy, with our workforce, because we offer so many programs, the 14 community colleges, and we all have a bit of a specialty, if you will. So I think it's important. So for that reason we have. As far as students coming to us that their tuition is paid, I do not have that information.
Well, I just want to say that during our workforce development tours, we started engaging with some of the employees who were younger in age and had said that they came and graduated from HAC. So that's what brought me to want to interview Dr. Ski and let the community know that this is a great place for students of all ages to get their education and move up within the workforce or even enter the workforce.
Yes.
So I am so thankful for
Good.
you,
Thank you
coming today and allowing me
You're
to ask
welcome.
you these
Yes.
questions and educate the community.
Thank you very much, and thanks for what you do, and thank you for understanding the value of community college in our communities.
Okay, thank you very much.